The year is 1980. Tensions are at a boiling point between the US and the USSR after a thermonuclear blast eviscerates a small US Air Force base in the rural town of Damascus, Arkansas. The US are swift to respond, firing a retaliatory strike at the USSR, which is dismissed by a Soviet officer as a false positive by their early detection satellites. As the American Titan II missiles plow through the Soviet countryside, the USSR is only able to mount a meager counterattack from remote satellite locations before it is completely wiped off the face of the Earth. China and France, in light of this sudden and terrifying American aggression, launched strikes of their own against the US. And after a short but intense series of reprisals, the world is razed to the ground by nuclear-armed fire, and human civilization along with it. Yet mankind is not doomed. During the Cold War, the great, the good, and the gilded invested heavily in next-generation bomb shelters, enormous self-sustaining subterranean cryogenic compounds designed to preserve life until the outside world becomes habitable again. Compounds which, due to cost-cutting business measures in the name of competition and industrial espionage, failed to work entirely. Coolers. Bathed in lethal radiation, the greatest minds of the 20th century and all living memory of culture, technology, and agriculture are lost. While on the surface, the very hardiest specimens of humanity cling to life, survive, then thrive. From the ashes, a new world emerges. An ersatz, post-apocalyptic, stillborn 80s continues indefinitely, populated entirely by the toughest, meanest, and outright dumbest of God's creations, the wasters. Years later, however many nobody can say, even those who can count, the barren desert landscape of the Western Wastes is host to bitter factionalized warfare. The wasters fight tooth and nail over the most precious of natural resources, a liquid from beneath the sands that fuels all of uncivilization. Buried deep within the cooler's chambers, the very radiation that killed off society's chosen few imbued their potable provisions with a sick green glow and a radioactive buzz. Booze, it affectionately came to be known, and those dumb enough to weather its taste found themselves taking a sharp detour off the human evolutionary highway, mutating in strange and confounding ways, and acquiring both permanent brain damage and a ravenous addiction to the stuff. Against this backdrop of organized chaos, the wasters scrabble in the dirt looking for just a drop of the good stuff, and the right guy in the wrong place at the right time with the wrong drink could be a major headache for those who seek power.
New boys, rip and shred!
Hands where we can see him. Hate to break it to you, but you've just wandered your way into becoming the new boys' first big score.
Yeah, new boys, rip and shred!
Nothing personal, it's just how things work out here in the Western Wastes.
You do know how things work in the Western Wastes, don't you? You sure about that? You know, these Western Wastes are a little more complicated than other wastes.
Yeah, I mean, there's the shooting, which is more or less the same everywhere.
But there's probably a lot of strange mechanics you might want to familiarize yourself with before you venture out.
Yeah, doesn't hurt to know a mechanic, especially with that Angelus traffic.
You sure you want to cut the crap and get straight to it? Well, crap. We're severely outmatched, new boys. Retreat! Retreat!
Hey, Dingus, mind putting that thing away? I ain't here to maim you. Just here on road courier business. If a problem comes along, you must ship it. Not ringing any bells? Geez, I'd ask if you've been living under a rock. But, considering the venue of our little conversation, well, we road couriers are the big movers and shakers here in the Western Wastes. Movers, mostly. Shaking's more or less stopped since even the raiders have learned better than to hit our caravans. Pickups, deliveries, you name it. Anything needs moving from one garbage pit to another, you can count on the couriers. Well, let's see here. Looks like you ain't signed up for our delivery service. Tell you what, though. Come visit us up at the Oni Express. Just, head towards Sacramento and follow the smell of booze. You'll find it in no time. Guy there will set you right up. Anyways, I'm already behind on my deliveries, so I gotta skedaddle. Remember, the Oni Express up in Sacramento. Can't miss it. See you later, waster.
Hold it right there, waster. This here's the Oni Express, one of the last safe havens out in the western wastes. And me and my friends up here intend to keep it that way, so keep your head out of trouble, and we'll let you keep it all in one piece. Comprende?
Welcome to the gym. Just 30 sheets for just pick out course we also offer. So what can I... Great one. And you're good. So all right, here you go. Don't it? Our boo, but the truth stick. Of course, there. So what? Thanks.
Neither snow. Ha! Round. Oh. Ah, you've not heard of me. Well, many a package have I delivered, young wastrel, and as surely as the sun rises and so too falls, there shall come a day when I make a delivery for you as well. 'Tis as inevitable as the sun, rising and then falling. You see, I am no mere road courier, though I don their garb and travel their roads. Nay, a much greater power exerts dominion over mine poor soul, a power heretofore known by wastrels such as yourself as death. Yes, at first I thought it mere coincidence that my delivery contracts ended in ultraviolence. These wastes are, how shall I say, uncharitable to the living after all. But with every passing pickup contract ending in the swift and grisly demise of the undersigned, it became abundantly clear that I had become Charon reincarnate, collecting these trinkets, these tokens of death, as payment from these wastrels for safe passage across the river Styx. Through countless years I have amassed a fortune of dead men's belongings, and in so doing, some insight into the souls of man. There are those who are prepared to die, who offer unto death all manner of rarities, deadly weaponry, exquisite armor. These are the things most pleasing to death. Yet there are souls naive, completely unaware of their impending doom. Those who offer cheap trinkets, junk, pizza, and sometimes nothing at all. In their arrogance they leave the world with nothing and find themselves up Styx Creek without a paddle. There is much that can be gleaned from a wastrel's last delivery, and if it would please you, I would gladly share the details of my last courier run over drink.
If a problem comes along, you must ship it. Welcome to the road crew. Sure. Say you got a thing, and you need this thing somewhere else. We're the guys for that. That's what we do. The way we see it, stuff's like a fart. You can keep it to yourself, like some fart miser, sure. But it's way more fun when it shows up in places it don't belong. Like, imagine you got a nice gun at home. Put it on a coffee table, liven up your living room a bit, that's cool. But imagine that same gun, except it's in the middle of freaking nowhere, just dust everywhere, and like the barrel of the gun peeking up from beneath the sands. Freaking hilarious. We can do that. Sure. But like, get this. Say you're knees deep in a cooler run. SOB hot on your tail, you've been shot in the face, your arms are leaking, and your pants are covered in your moments before death shits. And then you just take them off and shove them in a courier box. SOB doesn't know what the heck is happening, but guns you down anyways. Bang! You're dead. Next day, your significant other's at home. Doesn't even know you've been wasted. And then out of nowhere, bing bong, special delivery! Guess what it is? It's pants! Covered in the crap of their dead lover. Priceless. See, that's what we do. We move your stuff from one place to another. But you gotta put them in the courier boxes. That's how the magic happens. Just put things in one of those big blue boxes of badness and we take them to any other courier box, pro bono. Totally righteous. Really looking forward to hauling all of your crap away. Greetings, waste of life? Is that the right one? Did I use the right term? The kids today with the slang and so forth. It's distressing and unfamiliar.
It is the parlance of a rambunctious youth with little regard for tradition.
Yes. Anyhow, I'm Dick and this is Kissinger.
A pleasure.
Nicknames. Reluctantly, I assure you. Please don't busy yourself with the mental strain of figuring out why. It's never made any sense to me either. I suppose the scum lords, the gangs, the no-good nicks and the like, they despise success. You know, there's a cabal out to get me.
There are people as yet in their cultural and mental infancy.
Agreed. It's thrilling, of course, to see another young, violent drunkard in our midst. And I sincerely hope we can be of service to you. Oh, no need to be concerned. We're not like these hucksters and charlatans. They'd take a man's last sheep from right out of his cheeks. No, we have more than enough TP to be comfortable for the rest of our lives.
It is confirmed as 3-ply.
Magnificent stuff, like the tongues of angels. You really ought to try it. But that's besides the point. In our advanced age, I suppose we're some variety of consultant. We simply offer our expertise, our knowledge, our support. You know what they say? 2 heads are better than one.
Discounting, of course, moments nocturnal when a man seeks to relive certain urges.
Well, our new friend here has little interest in such matters. So, how may we help you? You know, Kissinger hates it when I use the M-word. But in my teens, it wasn't like it is now. Barely any radiation at all these days. In my teens, I was exposed to an awful lot of radiation. Wasn't uncommon at all to see all manner of mutants. Anyway, Kissinger started a sprout for me down there. And not to put too fine a point on it, but I was of an age where I was about to become best friends with that area anyway. So things worked out pretty well.
Some more so than others.
Well, from what little I've heard, it was built by or for the use of doctors. Smart fellows, to be sure, but useless eggheads to a man.
The title impresses me little.
When one is stripped of accolades, accomplishments, guns, vile haircuts, and whatnot. What he does then, that is the true measure of a man. Well, now if
they are reduced to primitive,
quite
such issue I wish to speak about with you in private. Dick, if you please, I must touch upon sensitive issues with our associate.
Oh, certainly. Just let me know when you're done. Give me the signal. You know the sort.
Please, come a little closer. prying eyes turn up in places most unexpected in modern times. There is an issue that drives a wedge between myself and my companion Dick. Dick remains blessed well into his advanced age with a head full of hair. Such blessings have not extended to me, and I have become as bald as the day I was mutated. A situation I wish to remedy but have not the personal means. Appearances count for much in such a vile and reprehensible time and place. My presentation presents a disunited front and I appear as the junior partner in our enterprise. An unfair and frustrating position given the extent of my input. I do not wish to shrink into insignificance in Dick's shadow. I intend to go hard as it is said by the youngsters in my capacity as a professional. To do so, it has become apparent that I require a prosthetic. Relieve 25 residents of the wasteland of their scalps. That would seem an adequate supply of hair. Return to me upon completion of this task and you shall be appropriately rewarded.
Oh, Azuka. Help me? Not unless you've concocted a potion to quell a broken heart. Oh, my precious Azuka. It must have been the other day. My wife and unwavering companion, Azuka, and I were scavenging for supplies in the cooler when we bumped into an errant SOB patrol. Well, the SOBs don't recognize relationships such as the one Azuka and I share, and their doctrine teaches them to purge our kind from the wastes. Needless to say, a firefight erupted, and though it seemed like our superior tactical weaponry would win out at the end, a modification I applied to one of my weapon systems caused it to jam, leaving me defenseless and vulnerable. In my panic, I fled as fast as I could from the fight, weaving in and out of weapon fire. I looked behind me, but Azuka wasn't there. Please, if you could help me find Azuka, I would forever be in your debt. Oh, bless your heart, kind waster. You're one of the good ones. As I said before, I last saw Azuka in the cooler. We were down in the dormitories, searching the dressers for some sexy underwear for me to dress her up in. When the SOBs attacked, Azuka is immensely beautiful, but she is also very meek and utterly helpless without me, so she will not have strayed far from where I left her. Azuka's beauty is unmistakable. She is a truly perfect specimen. Her blemishless face, pale white skin, like fine porcelain, as if untouched by the oppressive sun that beats down upon the wastes, and yet fully bared to the elements. Well, not fully bared. Her Type C bikini armor provides ample protection to her vital organs, such as her bosom, womb, and feet. Of course, I had to custom tailor the armor myself, since it was impossible to find armor that would fit her massive breastial and posterior proportions. Even still, the armor just barely fits, and if you peek at her from just the right angle, you can catch a glimpse of the areola, like an unexpected sunrise peeking out from beyond her elephantine Twin Peaks. Her face is youthful and forever locked in a smile, even in the face of atrocious acts, and her large, round, innocent eyes are like windows to a pure, untainted soul. In spite of her large, erogenous zones, she has youthful proportions, even though she's 8 feet tall. Of course, we're both of legal age, though Her in dog years, as she is partially a fox, or kitsune, as cultured individuals would recognize. Please, I must be reunited with my Azuka. I simply can't continue my life in the wastes without her.
Back, out of the way! SOB's hot on my tail. Ran fast as I could stumble, zigzagged all over the place. Thought that'd throw him off, but those SOBs are cunning. And sober. Syndicate of buzzkills. Bunch of nutjobs looking to purge the wastes of booze and the wasters that drink it. One of them must have caught a whiff of the booze on my breath. Or maybe could have been the booze on my clothes. Of course, could have been something else. TP's been real scarce. Look, dude, I use a big old computer up here to lock those SOB bastards in the floors below. I ain't joking when I say this place is crawling with them. I'm getting the heck out of here, and if you ain't looking to close out your tab for good, I suggest you do the same.
Citadel, this is Purifier Starr. Approaching drop-off point. Proceeding to purify all abominations. Look what squirted out of the clammy cheeks of the shitlands. Dead waster, looking to score some booze. Unfortunately for you, the Western Wastes are about to become a dry county. Well, mostly dry anyways, discounting the big old puddle of blood and piss I'll be turning you into. See, one thing we SOBs don't like is wasters like you drinking that radioactive sludge. You taint yourself and taint the good Lord's perfect handiwork. You see, booze changes a man. Turns him into a monster. I hate to break it to you, but there ain't no room for monsters in the Lord's kingdom. Looks like God's giving you a little more time to think about what you've done.
Never did like this heavy crap anyways. You see, this here's my baby. Got a real neat trick she can show you. See me feed her one bullet, and she spits it out like it's two. Ricky shittin' she calls it. Just a fancy name for bullets pinging all over the place. What's the matter? You don't seem too impressed. Well, no matter. Impressing booze brains ain't my job. Eliminate is. So why don't we quit flapping our gums and let our guns do the talking? Waster scum. SOB's already won. You just don't know it yet.
Starr, this is Citadel requesting an update on the Muty situation. Looks like CA1's been compromised. Any remaining purifiers still inside the cooler, get down to the cryo chambers. Got us a heathen that needs to be shown the light. The The rest of you, regroup with the cure carrier and head back to Citadel. You will not be administering the cure in Sacramento. I repeat, the cure will not be deployed.
Waster, we don't have much time. The purifiers are already on their way. Take the Administrator's security disk from Starr and head to the back of the cryo chamber. There, you'll find a terminal which will let you access the cooler's hidden technology chamber. Get inside and activate the Serpent Protocol. It's the only way you're getting out of here alive. Good luck.
Looks like you've made it. Good, good. A fine mess you've made down there. The Syndicate comms channels are buzzing with excitement. Well, not so much excitement as... let's just say the SOB ain't too happy about having to resort to Plan B. Especially since Plan B involves a long, hot trek down to the southern edge of the Western Wastes. But I'm saying too much. The word will get around soon enough, of that I'm sure. As for me, well, ain't like the new skellies to stay out in the sun for too long. But I'm sure our paths will cross again, Waster.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, relax and breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, just breathe. Oh God, is this what a dead person smells like? I'm gonna. Okay, just take it easy. It's just a dead person. There's nothing wrong with stealing from the dead. It moved! Wait, you're alive? I mean, thank God, you're alive! Whew. But wait, what was that smell then? Well, you don't remember? Oh, well, geez, I suppose you wouldn't. What with being shot up 1,000 feet into the air in that tin can? Yeah, that metal heap you're lying in. What a sight. Well, at least from the outside. I suppose you were too busy blacking out from the turbulence. The radio's been buzzing about the 2 unidentified flying objects that shot out of the cooler, went straight up into the sky, and all the way back down again. First, people were scared, but then they were reminded of 2 glistening cans of booze, got drunk, and stopped caring. But not me, not old Pinky. Well, yeah. No, well, sort of. It's my Raiden name. You take the name of the street you were born on, and then the biggest part of your body. But I don't remember where I was born, so... Anyways, seeing as you're not dead, I guess there's no reason to rob you. I mean, that's just straight up robbery as far as I'm concerned. And us new boys, we're principled. We're the new generation of raiders, socially aware. Yeah, Speaking of which, have you seen my pals around? We were supposed to meet here a while back. 3 incredibly strong-looking dudes. Unless you were intentionally averting your gaze from their big, throbbing muscles. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, maybe they headed down to CA2. I don't see why the boys would bother wasting their time on yesterday's cooler, after all. Yeah, word on the buzz is that they found a new cooler somewhere in the southern tip of the western wastes. All the way down near Sandy Crap Show. Cooler CA2 is called. And apparently it's cram-stuffed with fresh, ice-cold booze. Oh, and flesh-melting deathbots and banditos decked out in military-grade weaponry, but hey, you gotta die a little to live a little, am I right? Gotta get shot to get a shot, right? Right? Well, that's not to keep the rest of the boys waiting. You know, the new boys, that new gang I'm a part of. I'll be on my way now, Waster. Say, which way south again? Great, thanks. And, any other wasters you see, you let them know that the socially aware new boys aren't wussies, and you totally saw them fearlessly rob a dead body without even a second thought, okay? Namaste, Waster!
They say a problem shared is a problem halved.
Or in this case, reduced by 2/3. So what's on your mind? If it's something big, don't tell us, since technically we'll be taking on the majority of the problem. I'm retired, you inconsiderate brat.
It is done. Splendid. Yes, I feel a new confidence swelling within me. It is a token of my appreciation.
Have you found my precious Azuka yet? You have her Type C bikini armor. That means you must have killed her. No, I completely understand. You and the SOB are all the same. You want a pure finesse. Well, I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm going to kill every last one of you until my...